Welcome to Hot Takes and Game Breaks. I am your boy, Matthew Nepper. I am joined by my boy, Taylor Druckenmiller, aka my arch rival. How's it going, Taylor?
What's up, man? Coming off of a winning week. Gotta keep digging every week. We're gonna catch up to you, and yeah, looking forward to this week. Big game for my Wolverines, and let's do it.
Yeah, you went 5-4 last week. I had a rough one. Went 3-6. Started off great with my Georgia Tech covering. Tennessee covered in a loss, but it was all
Nah,
downhill from there.
Te Tennessee game shouldn't have been a cover. Georgia should have been able to kick that extra point to win by 4, but that's why you don't. It's why when you're a betting man, you hate overtime. Overtime is
Yeah.
the devil in college football.
Yeah, I sent you a text. I was like, hey, if Georgia scores a touchdown, I still cover.
Yeah.
But week four looks like it's got a lot of sneaky good games. We say that a lot this time of year, the sneaky good ones. And let's get started. Where we travel to Big 12 country, where the Texas Tech Red Raiders travel to Utah to play the Utah Utes, where Utah's a 3.5 point betting favorite. How do you see this game playing out?
I think this could be a hell of a football game. Texas Tech, they got veteran quarterback Morton, Behren Morton. I don't even know how to pronounce his first name, but yeah, the dude's a beast. He had a good year last year, and yeah, in Utah with Devon Dampier transfer from New Mexico, he's having a hell of a year to start off, and I'd say this is maybe a dark horse Heisman candidate type game right here. Um, I'm gonna take Utah minus 3.5 though. I think Utah's defense is better than Texas Tech's, and I feel like the home field advantage in Utah is gonna definitely help. And Texas Tech is going to altitude, so give me the Utes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Altitude. Over here being a scientist, huh? Ah,
Uh-huh. You see it.
yeah, I see it. I see it. Yeah, I think obviously neither team has been tested that hard. I think Utah, we thought week one against UCLA may have been a little bit of a test, but turned out UCLA is just straight trash. Texas Tech. They get that high powered offense, led of course by their passing attack. Utah's favored by 3.5 altitude, but it's noon, sleepy. Noon Utah time. I'm not sure if that's 11 or 10, but it's gonna be early. I'm just rolling with Texas Tech. I just like Texas Tech in this game. I
Yeah,
think
dude, that 12 p.m. That could be a 10 o'clock game in Utah, couldn't it?
okay, they're mountain. So yeah, that'd be a 10 o'clock local.
That's insane.
That
I
is
feel like that
that is crazy. 10 o'clock local time. That's a sleepy game.
they're gonna start big noon kickoff at like 7 o'clock in the morning over there.
Right, right. That's pretty wild. I feel like we might hate big noon kickoff in Big Ten country, but they must despise it. Just absolutely despise it over there. And
That's crazy.
yeah, what a terrible way to start your morning when the Texas Tech Red Raiders come in there and they're going to drop 35 and leave with a win, or at least cover.
We'll see.
We'll see. Back to the East Coast or the Eastern time zone where we have Arkansas at Memphis, 12 p.m. local time. That's a game where Arkansas is favored by 7.5. Hmm, tricky line. How do you feel this game playing out?
Yeah, man. So Memphis, I got them making the playoff as my G5. So this is a huge game for Memphis. I don't think they can afford to lose a game like this. This is probably their best opponent on their whole schedule. But hey, they did beat Troy 28-7 last week. Better than what my Clemson Tigers did. So that's progress. But Arkansas coming off a loss at Ole Miss. I mean, I know Arkansas is going to get up for this game. Arkansas definitely can't afford to lose a game like this. And Taylor Green, I mean, that dude is rolling right now. He's got 1,200 yards and 13 total touchdowns on the year. But I just don't know if Memphis's offense can keep up. And in order for that to happen, I think they're going to have to force some turnovers. And since I got them making the playoff, I'm gonna have to take the points here. That was 7.5, and hopefully Memphis can come up with some turnovers and squeak this game out.
Yeah, this is on paper before the season starts, you're like, okay, this feels like a trap game. It's sandwiched between Ole Miss and Notre Dame. But I feel like after Arkansas lost to Ole Miss, this doesn't feel like a trap game anymore. This is opportunity now for them. Get back on track before they could go back home and eliminate Notre Dame from the playoffs once and for all. And Arkansas has an offense. We saw that at Ole Miss. Their defense is a little shaky. Let a backup quarterback score, I believe, 40 on them, 41. Gonna be a close game, but I think Arkansas does pull away late. You see that over under on this? 62? That's a pretty high
Yeah,
spread.
it's that
It's-
that's a lot of points. I mean, Memphis's quarterback dude is like a 8-year starter. Like
yeah,
he was at Colorado before Dion was there, so that's how long he's been in college football. But he's a running quarterback though, and Arkansas just let a Division II Ferris State quarterback light them up last week. So maybe Memphis's quarterback can do the same.
yeah. And it at Memphis. I feel like that's always a weird spot. These G5 schools are gonna get getting up for this. Arkansas can go to any SEC team in the country and like, okay, it's just another SEC game. You go to Memphis and it's a big time opponent. I still think Arkansas covers barely, barely. Keep it in SEC country. Norman, Oklahoma. Still weird calling that SEC country. Auburn at number 11, Oklahoma. Jackson Arnold returns. He was like the lone bright spot last year for them. Oklahoma's favored by 6.5. How's this game play out?
Uh Man, I think this is gonna be another good football game. Big thing in this game is, I mean, Oklahoma, they kind of shut down Michigan's run game. And I feel like that's Auburn's identity right now is a run game. But at the same time, Auburn actually uses their quarterback to run. Michigan did not do that against Oklahoma. So I feel like Jackson Arnold might have a factor in this game running the ball. But I don't think Auburn's defense is that good either, though. So with Oklahoma's high power offense and John Mateer, this is a big game. And this is a revenge game for John Mateer. He got beat by Jackson Arnold back in high school. So I'm gonna go with Oklahoma, laying the 6.5 here. I think they win this game by double digits.
Well, we're gonna differ once again. I got Jackson Arnold. Revenge game for Jackson Arnold. I don't think Oklahoma wanted him. They got their man Mateer. He's gonna prove them wrong. One thing I do see for sure happening though, these quarterbacks are gonna be running up the middle all game long. A lot of zone reads, a lot of runs up the middle. It'd be actually a miracle if both quarterbacks leave in one piece. I think there's gonna be a battering ram over and over and over again running. Now, Auburn, sure, they played Baylor. Baylor's probably got one of the best passing attacks in the country. And I know they gave up over 400 yards, but they held Baylor to only 24 points. I don't think John Mateer can do what Sawyer Robertson did. I got Auburn. It just feels weird betting on Hugh Freeze, but yeah, give me Auburn. The vibes just feel right.
Well, we're against each other in all three games so far. See if we can make
Yeah,
it a fourth.
we'll see. Michigan goes to Lincoln, Nebraska. Two young upstart quarterbacks battling out. You got Raiola versus Underwood. Michigan comes in here as a 2.5 point favorite. 3:30 p.m. Who you got?
You already know I got Michigan. I do think it really helps that we already played Oklahoma and Bryce Underwood's already got that game under his belt. And it's a 3:30 game, so I feel like, the first half it's not going to be too crazy. But as long as we're a couple scores ahead going into late in this football game, I think we'll be all right. I think we need to get pressure on Raiola. I think he can play a little bit crazy when he has to, and he really hasn't played anybody yet this year. I mean, I think they only put up 20 points against Cincinnati, and I promise you, Michigan's defense is a lot better than Cincinnati's defense. But yeah, and then the return of Rod Moore, legend Rod Moore. I know you remember Rod Moore. Remember what he did against your Buckeyes a couple years ago, Kyle McCord. Pretty sure that was like one of his last plays. But yeah, he returns. I think he'll be a big get on the defensive end in the pass game. And yeah, I think we go into Nebraska, force a couple turnovers, and Bryce Underwood gets his first big win.
I think Bryce Underwood and how he plays is going to have a huge role in how this game plays out. Is he going to be able to have the reins off of him? I know the interim head coach, Piff, what was his name again?
Biff Poggi.
Biff Poggi. What a weird name. I love it. Biff Poggi says that the reins are off, the offense is open. Yeah, it's easier said than done, though. You go to Nebraska, and did you know Indiana, BYU, and Nebraska? They're the only three teams in the country who have a top 10 offense and top 10 defense. Now, when you're playing against the Sisters of the Poor every week, you can inflate those stats tenfold. I get it. But this is at Lincoln, Nebraska. I do like the way Raiola's playing. He's been very turnover free this year. He's got 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, playing smart ball. That Cincinnati game, that was week 1, Thursday night. Weird neutral site-ish game. I'm not going to hold that against Nebraska too much. If this game was at 7:30 p.m., I think I'd be a little bit more confident on Nebraska. But 3:30, all those balloons floating in the air after that first touchdown. Give me Nebraska to cover. They don't have to win, but to cover.
This has 31-29 written all over it.
It's just one of those weird, like it's just a bounce of a ball. Just never know.
Yeah, and I will say Michigan's kicker Zavada has missed 2 chip shots so far this year, and he was like preseason first team All American kicker. So I hope he gets his confidence back because we'll probably need him in this game.
Yeah. It's just it's a good one. You know, you got Underwood, you got Raiola, two quarterbacks who I feel like can be dual threat options if their coaches let them. It's gonna be an exciting one. You know, Michigan's schedule is a lot more difficult than we gave them credit for to start the season. Because you have after this, I think Michigan goes on a bye and then they play at USC, another team that's fringe top 25. I feel Nebraska should be maybe top 25 as well. I know Matt Rule and company hasn't really done that much to prove it, but we've all heard what they said about year 3 Matt Rule. And this is supposed to be the year where everything gels together. Happened at Temple, happened at Baylor. Let's see what happens here. Time to go to Miami, Florida, where game day? Why is game day at Florida at Miami? Florida has 2 losses. What is going on here? I know it's
Yeah, I don't know. This might be predetermined. I don't know if they predetermine game days, but this one might have been predetermined. I don't know.
and Miami's not even that great of like a fan environment. It's just I don't know. Maybe they just looked at the weather forecast and like we're going to Miami. We don't care.
Yeah, there's a good chance that's true.
But Miami opened as a 9.5 point favorite against Florida. It's an interesting line. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as a Florida fan, I feel like you're almost better off just getting whooped right here, so you can just fire your coach and then have an excuse why you suck the rest of the year. But I think somehow, some way, Florida might even win this football game. I feel like DJ Lagway is going to bounce back. Um, USF. I mean, I know Florida lost to USF and Miami drilled USF, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but I do think Florida's going to somehow cover this game, and I think they're going to have a chance to win this game. Um, I feel like their defense is good. No matter, I mean, their defense played good last week against LSU. It's just the offense couldn't get anything going, and I think they do get it going this week, and they cover this game, and Miami's on a upset alert.
Lagway threw 5 interceptions last week, and Florida only lost by 10. I don't think he's gonna throw 5 interceptions again this week. Miami, they're riding high, feeling good. And a wise man said last week, in a rivalry game like this, you take the points and you take the underdog. So I think I got Florida as well.
Yeah, and this is revenge from last year too. Miami went into Gainesville and beat the dog crap out of Florida. So yeah, I feel like they got a chip on their shoulder as well. And yeah, we'll see if Lagway can bounce back this week.
It's possible, certainly possible. We got a fun one in Indiana as our nightcap. 7:30 p.m. Bloomington, Indiana. The ninth ranked Illinois come to travel to play the 19th ranked Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana's favored by 5.5. Can Coach Signetti win the big game?
I don't think so. I think Cincinnati all offseason he's talking about, oh, we're going to schedule these easy opponents like the SEC does, and I think that's going to come back to bite him in this game. Um, they got a new running back uh, than they had last year. They got a new quarterback than they had last year, and they just been playing cupcake teams. And I mean, they struggled against Old Dominion in week one. I know Old Dominion's really good, I guess, since they went into Virginia Tech and killed them, but yeah, I think Indiana's losing this football game. I think Illinois is going to come in here and I think they're going to beat them up, man. Illinois, I mean, they went to Duke and they've already went to a hostile environment and blew out a, a Power Four team. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Illinois in this game. I don't like Kirk Cignetti at all. So
Yeah, a lot of people don't. This is definitely a big opportunity for Indiana, though. On paper, I feel like this year's Indiana team looks better than last year's Indiana team. I love Mendoza. I think he could be a first round NFL draft pick. Just watching his tape, watch his composure. I know he's playing against nobodies, but I loved him at Cal last year too. That game where he almost put off the upset against Miami. I'm seeing that Mendoza. And I like riding with Indiana for this game. I feel an Indiana statement victory. Illinois looked a little sleepy last week against Western Michigan. I don't know if you noticed, but I believe they're only up by like 10-ish at halftime. I know sleepy going against a MAC school. I just feel this is a big game for them because Indiana, they got Iowa and Oregon on the road up next. Like this is definitely their opportunity. It's a make it or break it game. And Illinois' schedule isn't too easy either. I know they got USC and I believe Ohio State right around the corner. It's a big time advantage for or big situation for both schools. But I got Indiana covering.
yeah, I'm just against big schools like Indiana, scheduling three cupcake games to start their season, and then yeah, like you said, I mean they got Illinois this week, then they go to Iowa, then they go to Oregon. I feel like that's a recipe for disaster because I mean if Illinois comes out and smacks them in the mouth, Indiana's not going to know what to do. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the team that's already been tested a little bit at least this year, and yeah, give me the Illini, the top 10 Illini. Never thought I'd say that, but
Yeah, I don't think I said it before a couple weeks ago, but I still don't think the computers in like Vegas, I don't think they respect Illinois the way they should. I mean, Illinois, a top 10 team, is a 5.5 point dog against Indiana. It's kind of weird to me. I know home gives you 3 points, but that implies that Indiana would be favored on a neutral site regardless. There's something that people like about Indiana and we don't like about Illinois. And I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm rolling with Vegas on this one. Vegas knows something I don't. Maybe they love Mendoza as much as I love Mendoza. But yeah, rolling with Indiana in this one. But we have a couple more notable games, a couple of potential shootouts. SMU at TCU. I feel like both these schools have had very interesting schedules to open the season. TCU obviously demolished the Fighting Bill Belichick's. And SMU got in a very fun shootout against Sawyer Robertson and the Baylor Bears. This game opens with an over-under of 64 and a half. High noon. TCU is favored by 6.5. How does that game go out?
Yeah, SMU last week struggled with Missouri State. They traveled to Missouri State too, I believe. That's weird in my opinion. I think they won that game 28 to 10 or something. But yeah, TCU's got a run game. They showed that against North Carolina, and I feel like they're going to show that against SMU, and SMU's not going to have an answer for that. So unless SMU can score every time they get the ball, I don't think they're covering this game. So give me TCU minus 6.5.
I think TCU's still a vastly underrated team. I got TCU covering as well. And then Arizona State travels to Baylor, an Arizona State team that is desperate for a bounce back week. But Baylor's got some dogs in them. How's this one play out?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good football game. I think Arizona State has something to prove. With the loss to Mississippi State early in the year, uh, they need a game like this, and I mean Baylor also needs a game like this. I mean they've been through a gauntlet already, and it's only week 4. So yeah, I see a lot of points being scored in this game, and man, 2.5. I wish I could get 3.5, but I'm gonna go with Arizona State and Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson. I think they'll make plays. I think their defense is a little bit better than Baylor's. And yeah, I think it's time to pump the brakes on Sawyer Robinson.
You know me. I'm a Sawyer Robertson believer, and that is not ending today. I got Baylor covering this at 2.5 at home. I think Arizona State, they're learning quickly that Cam Scatterboo was their offense last year. Baylor covers and wins this one with slight ease. They're the more battle-tested team, too.
Yeah, and man, I don't know. I think this is Baylor's like first real home game too. I think they went to Auburn, and I think they
No,
went to SMU, right? Oh no,
Auburn
yeah,
went
Auburn
up,
went Auburn went to Baylor. Yep, never mind.
but that was a weird Friday night game.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
they're
this
gonna
is yeah,
their first Saturday home game, really.
yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna stay with the Sun Devils.
Yeah, definitely a fun week. Did a little bit of looking ahead. Did you see what week 5 has in store for us?
And week 5 is loaded, dude.
My only gripe is the Big Ten finally has a primetime game. No big noon kickoff, a big time primetime game. The Penn State Whiteout, Oregon Ducks in town, and ABC, you got Georgia, Alabama. Big Ten can't win.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I think more people could be tuning in that Oregon Penn State game, but I mean, I know I will be.
yeah, this seems like the more fun one. But I can't
Yeah.
wait to cover the week 5 preview when we get there. But that's next week's show. Till then, well, till we come and cover the endings of these games, because, I feel like we split on almost every single game. I think the
Yeah,
only
I mean,
game we agreed with was Florida and
TCU.
TCU. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's only one way to come back, and that's to disagree with you on every pick. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. You picked first every time, so maybe I'm leaving that door open for you.
We'll see.
We'll see. But till then, for hot takes and game breaks, I'm Matthew Nepper. He's my boy Taylor. Peace out. Go Buckeyes.
Go blue.
OHIO.